up guys, Manny from Motomillion. I'm on 650's V4R. This is a 2023 V4R, and the reason why I'm riding this today is because we're going to compare this versus the 1199R RestoMod that we just finished. He's actually right behind me. He's riding it for the first time. I have yet to ride it. 10 years of innovation has taken away anything from these bikes or given anything to them. So we're about to find out. So I'm just going to enjoy the ride a little bit to soak in this beautiful Miami weather that we have, and then once I have something to say, obviously this V4R is a beautiful, very nice bike. We've done a video on this one versus an SP2 when we had the Motomillion SP2 to let you guys know how impressive this thing was and how impressive the SP2 is in its own ways too. But I could tell you that from off the bat that this bike is so smooth, unlike any other V4. And that 1199R, which is a V2, or some of you guys call it an L2, is definitely not going to be smooth like this. Obviously this bike is far from stock, right? It has the Akrapovic full race exhaust, just like that 1199R does. And it has a lot of beautiful parts that's added onto it. Has the RestoMod mirrors, some carbon fiber goodies here and there, and it doesn't need much more. Running on the Ducati Performance's own map, the quick shifter actually works really good. We have the Cordona quick shifter installed on this bike as well, and our standard Lightech R series rear sets. I think the sound dominates the experience of this bike. And don't forget, we've been riding the 2025 V4 for a while, so the tank on this bike feels really big and wide compared to the 2025 V4. Of course, there's the heat that comes off the seats. That's something that we are all aware of at these bikes, which is not too bad. Right now it's 82 degrees outside, so it's bearable. Just take a look at that thing. He's giving us a thumbs up. That is indeed an amazing motorcycle. And Michael Knight is right behind us on the 2025 Panigale V4, the Motomillion 2025 Panigale V4. And I think that might be the bike that converted him to like that thing, because he loves his BMWs. And take a look at that prototype fender eliminator that we're running on it. Alright, so we did a little quick run on the highway, and what I love is how sharp the brakes are. Obviously this is not the stock braking system. It has the GP4 MS calipers and the 17 RCS Corsa Corta. That 1199R actually has the same exact setup on it. And one thing Ebe noticed when we were revealing the bike to him was how sharp the brakes were feeling, which is something you get with a combination of running a very high-end caliper and a very good master cylinder. The quick shifter on these bikes have never been known to be the best one, so I think it's still very surprising to ride these things, and you have to ride them a certain way for the quick shifter to work. But in terms of views, don't forget, again, this bike's not stock, right? So it has the carbon fiber front subframe slash headlights, fairing holder, and everything you see here just makes this bike look even more premium. Obviously that sound is very exotic. We got our RestoMod mirrors that work rather than the stock mirrors, because you see how much this thing shakes. The stock mirrors, this resonance goes through the mirrors and you can't see anything out of it, and with this I could clearly see out of the mirrors. I'm very excited to ride that 1199R because it looks beautiful, but obviously also just, that's a very old school piece of machine now. We could call it old school now that it's 12 years or 13 years old. And just look how good it looks. Oh, but it was traction control? No, that's the exhaust servo. And this bike is GP shift, so I gotta keep reminding myself that we're running in the GP shift configuration. But we're out with 3 Ducatis, 3 very red Ducatis, and amazing outside. I just keep wanting to take a look at that bike because all I want to do is to see how shiny that thing looks. Wendell did a really good job on it, but obviously the paint, even compared to this, because this paint is even better than the regular V4s. But when they say they don't make them like they used to, I guess that's where it stands out. But look at that handlebar setup that it has on it. The calipers up front. We don't get to see those BST wheels, the StarTech's on it, but this bike is also on the BST wheels, which changes quite a bit because it's much lighter than the stock wheels that this thing had. And it did come with the Marchesini forge wheels. So in cases like this where you're just rolling around to tip the bike around, it really makes a difference. But obviously it's no slouch from factory anyways. You see that quick shifter? The quick shifter, that little jump that it does, it's, if you don't hit it hard enough, these bikes, it's not like a BMW quick shifter where it just works. You gotta really hit it. And take a look at the brake free on Eve's helmet. That really works to draw attention to the brake lights. I don't know about you guys, but the 2025 Panigale V4 looks really good. Especially the tail section. I really like that tail section. Cool, so we stopped for a quick fuel stop. The 2025 Panigale V4 is having some temperamental issues, which we don't know why. We didn't do much to the bike at all. But it looks like it doesn't want to rev past a certain point. Michael says he gets on the throttle, but it doesn't even give him any power. It's full electronics are off even you put it in race mode. But I guess that's what happens when you take 3 Ducatis out for a ride. Ebe loves the 1199R RestoMod so far. But look, the exhaust is starting to blue too. But what I want to show you guys while we're stopped over here is how beautiful this Undertail exhaust, the original Undertail exhaust looks, as you see right here, as opposed to this one. This is not bad, right? But if you see this, of how well integrated it looks to the design of the bike, I really think that this doesn't do the bike justice. Maybe on this side because there's so much carbon fiber, but this is such a beautiful design too. Don't get me wrong. People love this. People are going crazy because the 2025 they think doesn't look good. To me, it looks amazing. But take a look at this Undertail on this bike. But take a look on how good it looks on this. It just looks spot on. Either way, we're fueled up. We're going to get back on the road, put some more miles on these things. Hopefully, I think, what do we got to do? Do we have to like bless it with some water, holy water, something? But let's see if this makes it through the whole trip. Either way, we're taking it easy. So let's get on the road. All right, guys. I think we're near Fort Lauderdale now. And we're about to go pick up some food. We're just a little bit of highway cruising we did. And this thing feels good. I think the V4R has a very good place in the lineup of Ducatis. I know it's a homologation bike, but it is so smooth. It's not very tasking to ride. Maybe over the years, I've molded into these bikes. And I say it laughing because it's not a secret. It's one of my favorite bikes is the Panigale V4, if not the favorite bike ever. It brought a lot into Ducati that people were wishing for. The reliability, the excitement, the whole package of being more modern in times. I mean, the quick shifter still doesn't work great, but I think it's a hell of a nice bike. Now we're gonna go pick up some food, and then we can see exactly how that 1199R feels once you fill up my stomach and everybody else's stomach, because we're pretty hungry. So guys, we had some really good lunch at Louis Bossi's. This is a staple of Fort Lauderdale. Pretty good steaks. Too full to ride a bike, but we're still gonna do it. I'm actually very excited. Take a look at this gold Super Sports. I just think the whole thing looks so good. Those BSD StarTech wheels in the back. Everything about it. Look, Eve's already got it starting to blue over here in this pipe right here, and we took it very easy. And also the header pipe, if I could show you in the back, it's nice and blue. I don't know if you could see it there or not, but take a look to see what an 1199R is like. A throwback Ducati ride. I bet you it's going to shake a lot more than a V4R with this beautiful balanced engine. And also, Michael says that our 2025 V4 is still not working properly, only giving him partial throttle and partial power. I guess it's going to go to the dealership. Let's put the mirrors up. If you watch 60 Thieves video, you'll see how true of a first ride is, because we just peeled the plastics or the stickers off these mirrors. That's why they're a little dirty right now, because the blue is still on there. Let's take a look to see. Racing Evo, 2,600 miles to service, and you see what I love about Eve. 12,000 miles already on this bike. Alright guys, we're back. The GoPro died. Happens all the time with GoPros, and we don't do retakes here because this is real thoughts of these three beautiful motorcycles, mainly of this 1199R RestoMod. Ebe is collecting it. It's pretty late here. If you guys hear some drumming behind, I'm sorry. There's some sort of a Brazilian drum thing going on in the background, which it's okay, adds a little bit of beat to our videos. My thoughts of this bike. This is so raw, so cool, and it's just, it feels old school, but not in a bad way. It feels that you're more engaged in the riding. It has a quick shifter and auto blipper. The quick shifter works good when you're full throttle. It doesn't work good in other instances because it's not an OEM quick shifter, it's an aftermarket one that was added on. And we all know we can make the OEM ones better, but if the bike does not have a quick shifter, it never works like the stuff that we're used to, because modern bikes are so far advanced in terms of the electronics that they have. These things mask their weight really well. The weight feels super down low. It feels a lot lighter than it is. If I were to say that this bike is lighter than this bike is lighter than the V4R, everyone would believe it if they ride it, but if you put it on the scales, you're going to say the scales are broken, because this is definitely not as light. We parked in Fort Lauderdale on Las Olas Drive. It's pretty much one of the main strips. These three bikes were there. Everyone agrees that all three bikes are exotics, right? The 2025 V4, 1199R RestoMod, and 650's very own V4R. Well, this is probably the stockest bike here, still quite far from stock in terms of a 2025 V4, and it has a lot of presence, but this one was getting all the looks, all the pictures. Obviously we don't set up cameras, so we kind of stalk the people, but maybe we should. But I think this was, I don't know, a great reminder to all of us that sometimes the basic things in life are better, right? I mean, better fun is what I think. Also, with this exhaust, we all thought, because when you start this up, this is by no means a quiet exhaust system. And you think that it's going to be loud when you ride it, but when you have the privilege of riding all these bikes back to back, I keep saying it, the sound dominates the experience on these new bikes. They're so loud. It's not a bad thing, but they're loud. This is a little toned down. Still loud, but you still hear the engine. On these ones, it's really hard to hear the engine over the growl of the exhaust. You hear the engine. It requires a lot more input to ride it. And I don't know, I love it, and it looks good. Look at it, it looks brand new. That's the cool thing about it. It's so clean here. The handlebar setup is beautiful. I think it's period correct. That's what we tried to achieve with it. Ebe loved it. He's actually behind the camera, and I just put a smile in my face because he saw it for the first time this morning. Then we went for a not the best of rides. It's Miami, the roads are not great, so he was a little grumpy, but we had a good steak and we made it back. But it's I don't know, I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. It didn't let me down whatsoever. And Michael Knight, actually, if you go watch 650 Eve's video, we did a closing on that video. He rode all of these bikes. He didn't ride the V4R today. I think I'm the only one that rode all 3 bikes back to back, but he made a very good analogy. He said, think of a Porsche 911. We always go back to cars because we are also car guys. He says that you don't want the, I don't know, the mid-2000s 911s. You either want the brand new one or you want the 80s ones or the 70s ones. And he said that this is those old school 80s, 70s 911 type of want, that you want this because it's so raw. You're probably not going to take it out for a ride because it's not the ideal bike to take it out for a ride, but maybe once in a while, if you're going to go and experience just the rawness of it, if you want to put everything aside, you know, no turn-by-turn navigation anymore. But the display is also kind of cool. It's still digital. It's 10 years old, but I don't know. I think this is pretty much the surprise of all times. Oh, one more thought, by the way. People are going to ask, the new V2s, right? Because it was coming from the lineage of this motorcycle. You guys know we had our Panigale V2 build over here. That's a fantastic bike. But I don't think it comes to, for some reason, this feels a lot more raw than that bike. Because I think it has the added power of the 1299cc engine. This has, yes, this has the 1299 engine that was fitted into it. I'm so upset that the GoPro stopped, but you guys will see some of these shots added in. We're going to take some of Michael Knight's riding shots because he's a maniac in a very good way. And that was pretty much it, guys. I want to thank Eve for giving me the opportunity to put this thing together. You're very welcome, Eve. I want to thank Wendell from Tridel Auto Spa who made this thing spotless. I know on video it looks spotless from the beginning, but this thing is so shiny even after we put all our fingerprints through it, so it looks like $1,000,000. And I hope Ebe rides it at least once in a while. I get it that you're not going to ride it all the time with having this or getting your Tricolore Italia when you get it, because these are, again, those bikes are nicer to ride all around. And you have an MXR, which I truly believe that's the best all-around bike you could ever get. Yep. That's a non-Ducati comment so that I don't get called a Ducati fanboy, but maybe we'll just switch the company name to Ducamillion, which we were talking about today. But guys, that's pretty much it. Again, thank you guys for watching, supporting, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Until next time, guys, have a good one.